Another ebook for you guys. Well, ebook in the way I have read this book. For me, it's gonna, like, I'm not gonna be surprised if it is in a physical form. But again, a few of the books I have gotten recently that I'm reviewing for you guys are in ebook form. But let's get to the review of Plant-Based Nutrition, second edition by Juliana Heaver. It is an Idiot's Guide book, so if you're familiar with the Idiot's Guide series, it's kind of like, it's the dummies, it's like dummies books. But you know what I'm talking about. There are many different types of information in these Idiot's Guides books. So, like every other Idiot Guides books and the For Dummies books, it's simple explanations and information. It's meant to be quick. It's meant to be almost like dumbed down kind of information. It's supposed to be like quick. So that's what you're getting in this book. But don't get me wrong, the explanations and information given are good, are like valid, but it is a jumping off point. Don't take this book to be a be all end all book. Just have it as a starting resource. So yeah. So there's definition of words that you need to know, like one example is whole grains are derived from the seeds of grasses, and it continues on. It is, like I said, it is informative, it's quick information, easy to understand. There's lists about different things that are explained, or there's just a list or a graph of things talked about. For example, there's a table of vitamin A food and like how much is in that food. Also, will give the title of the food and how much vitamin A is in that food. So there is those kind of tables for a few things. So it explains terms and foods of plant-based diet. So like sodium, oil, vitamins, sugar, fruits, kind of, and a few other things. It's not outright saying go vegetarian or vegan. Like these types of ways of eating are like talked about, but it's not, this book isn't outright saying go vegetarian or vegan, because like meat is also talked about, and like animal foods like meat are talked about randomly throughout the book. So it is there, the meat is there, but there is that focus on plants being a good part of your diet. Like supplements are also talked about in the book as well. So it is, like, to me, it is a pretty balance of what is being talked about. So there are like 2 or 3 images in the book, other than a little like pop-up side note information things that the Idiot's Guides aren't like known for. You got the little symbol and like information or whatever. So there's a triangle, so you got like leafy greens, stems, and others. Like there's a few things in that one little bubble, and then it goes out to like animal foods, and then plant foods with like nuts and seeds, and like right there. And then it shows you like a little while later, it shows you like the food label nutrition fact kind of thing, like talking about how to read that. So there's different steps and information, like metabolism eating section called The Dairy Dilemma. So it does talk about like sensitivities and like other, so that's kind of like about sensitivities. And then there's No Perfect Diet, so it also goes along that line. There are chapters about shopping and exercise, because there's that recognition that to eat a more plant-based diet, you gotta like shop properly, and how to look at the labels where that food label comes into play. If you don't just get the produce stuff, like if you like look at milk or whatever. But exercise is like, there is that recognition she has, like, you can't just have that healthy eating, you gotta have that exercise as well. So both important chapters in doing the diet, like doing the nutrition / working on your nutrition. So as I said, there is a section about supplements, like the do's and don'ts, and like throughout the book, not just with the supplements, there's the balance of information, not like the trying to balance the good and the bad of, you gotta, well, balance everything out. So closer to the end, there's talk about like proper like nutrition during like pregnancy, like with introducing like the plant-based diet, like plant-based nutrition, like with like infants, babies, and like kids and like seniors. So basically like birth to death kind of thing. And how like to transition like into each different stage of life kind of thing. So, and there is a small there's a chapter about like nutrition / diet when you have like disease like cancer or like kidney disease. Like there are people with those, so like why not talk about that? So she does talk about different like diseases, like the cancer or kidney disease, and like a few other things as well. So she also does talk about like going out on like special occasions or whatever, and how to stay on top of it. And does talk about what's in your kitchen, so not just the information of the food, but how are you setting up your kitchen, and like modifying and replacing kind of in recipes. And she does get into a chapter, like a few chapters of a few recipes that you can make, and there are the nutritional information, like she does add the nutritional information, like the sodium and the calories and all this, so you do get that. And there is a glossary, so a glossary of terms, sample meal plans, nutrition charts, and resources at the back. And so, again, it's very informative, a good start-off point for those who want to add a little more plants into their diet. It isn't a full-on how to be a vegetarian or vegan. It's just here's ways to add more plant-based products, plant products like the leafy greens or the seeds and stuff into your meals and what you eat. So The Idiot's Guide to Plant-Based Nutrition, 2nd edition by Juliana Hever. Happy readings.